This meeting is being recorded.
What's up, everybody? This is the poker coaching study session, and today we're going to be looking at ICM pre-flop trainer, basically. Tell us more, Gavin.
Yeah, so PREFLOP Academy, it's a service that provides a lot of pre-flop charts and GTO solved solutions. They recently came out with their trainer. It's in a beta, and it includes, what's interesting about it from others is it includes ICM situations. So we were gonna take a look at some of those today.
Sweet.
So I'm not 100% sure how to exclusively make it ICM situations.
Well, I guess if you say no, it's going to be chip IV. If you say yes, it's all going to be ICM.
Well, like I had it like this when I was playing with it. Oh wait, here we go. Mixed game type. I probably need somebody needs warm up.
Well, I mean, I'm assuming it's doing ICM calculations, even if it's not an ICM spot, right? So that's, I mean, I think it's
Well,
just how it's calculating the EV, right?
I'll show you how it works. So it randomly chooses charts and builds a situation. So this one, it's an ICM spot because it says final table here. So we're looking at a six max table. Situations constructed as 20. There's a couple tens, another 20, a 40 and a 50. So having a suited king here in a squeeze spot. So we got an open and a flat. What are we probably doing with this king here?
Hey, Gavin, I just have a quick favor to ask you. Right now, you're sharing your whole screen and it's a bit small. Can you stop to share and then share again? And then instead of sharing all the screen, there's a right nail where you can share just a portion of the screen. Then you could share just the portion we want to see. That would be a lot better, please.
Yeah, I don't think that pre-flop academy enlarges either, does it?
Well, give me a sec. Let me see if I can figure it out.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes if you
Perfect,
actually,
man. Perfect.
Is this
if
good?
you share, instead of sharing your screen, you
already
just share
better.
the width. Oh, it's an email.
Yes.
Oh, there
How
you go.
about that? Okay,
You can make it bigger using the three dots in the top right. You can just
this is as big as it gets. It's just a browser.
It looks good right now.
Kevin,
this is
indeed, Control Plus and I mean.
So here we go. ICM only. This is just another window.
Time
start
for
one.
answer. Wow. Pressure already.
Yeah, you probably want to not have that.
And two tables as well.
We can
we'll
indeed
see.
select the number of tables, etc.
Oh, here we go. This is kind of interesting. We probably only need one table.
Wow. Fold the five deuce. And
Oh,
then,
we got a timer? I don't want a timer. Let's say I'm done for now.
Yeah, so
One
number
table.
tables one and timers. I think you can make it.
I absolutely need this now with the timer. It's just the extra pressure I needed.
No.
So categories. Why can't I see? It's kind of goofy, but we'll try it
Timer's
with
not-
35
It's
second.
beta, man. And we're
Timer's not good with
Brand
10
new.
people trying to answer.
We'll try a 35 seconds, one table. See how we do.
Can you
It
pause
looks like
it?
there's a difference between learning mode and warm-up mode.
There is. So this one gives you like a weighted average of how you're doing. And I think it compares it to like the rest of the people who use the trainer. It's kind of like a global leaderboard of sorts. It's kind of cool. All right, so we have an offsuit middling ace here in a pretty heavy squeeze spot.
I fold.
Yeah, I'm going in the muck with this pretty often. We're going to continue with like our suited cards, I think, but this is probably fine to fold.
If it wasn't chip leader, would we do it?
Oh, see, the other one lets you see the actual ranges. This is like just a blind thing. Yeah, let's go back to the other one because we
Yeah, I
actually
like
want to
the
be
other one better.
we need to be able to analyze this stuff. So yeah, this kind of gives you like a recap of how you did, I guess. But yeah, we'll do this.
Did
So
you check
everything's
out-
random.
yeah. Did you check out categories?
Yeah, I couldn't click on this a second ago for whatever reason.
It's still beta, so maybe there's still nothing
This is
behind.
cool.
Yeah, I
Alright,
like this.
so
Oh, boy.
This is a hard spot, right? So we're covering, so I would imagine we still just pile it in here. If we
No,
weren't covering,
Yeah, I think you
Just
rejam.
open.
I think we fold.
fold, it's,
Is it, am I reading this right? He opens, a guy 3-bets, a guy 4-bets, and it's back to you?
Yeah,
Yep.
That's correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
I fold.
I'm
Yeah.
rejamming.
I think we probably,
I think with the small stacks, we could just go for it.
We're still
Yeah,
chip
like-
leader,
I
we're
th- I
still
think we
pretty
can
much
fold because of
chip
the
leader if we
small stacks.
lose.
I think we fold because if either of them is honest with a pair, somebody else has one of our aces or kings already dead.
yeah, there's some truth to that.
We only
This
have,
is-
yeah,
this,
we have fewer outs than we normally do.
if we
Sorry,
run well and we lose, we're not chip leader.
I mean,
It's
you're
the
not closing
hijack.
No, I didn't notice
Yeah,
he's
the 34 can
25
even
deep,
have, ace
so,
or
yeah, we still have 35 bigs if we lose, right?
Yeah, that's why I'm kind of like on the all-in train, just because we cover. But this is a pretty sick spot. I haven't seen one that's kind of crazy yet.
Muck it. What do you think the 4-bet range is?
I think the 4-bet has I think the 4-bet has jacks, and I think one of the first two has one of our aces or kings dead.
Jacks at minimum.
I don't think jacks are 4-betting here at all.
I
I
don't
think
think
they're.
we're, I don't think we're ever.
No, I'm
ahead.
saying
I
it
just don't
best.
think it's
I'm saying
big.
it best.
Oh, yeah.
Alright,
Hey,
I'm going with
I want to
fold.
fold.
Do it. No.
Perfect.
So,
Oh,
Jamming
yeah.
it.
Yeah.
so let's see, this is versus.
I
our
joined
pocket.
late. Is this deep in a tournament?
No,
Yes.
this is just a trainer.
Oh, okay. So it's not an
Table,
actual
I see.
hand.
But it's deep in the turn, but it's final table in this train.
Yeah, it's.
Oh,
the
that's
final
what.
table.
Yeah, that's what I was asking.
Oh, I just noticed in the middle of the table, it's written final table. So
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
the
So
ICM.
Welcome to the study group.
I missed that.
But only
Alright, so-
50%,
Mike,
This is a mug,
Oh.
yeah, I'm not
Yeah.
opening this. Equal stacks at
Fold.
20, I'm not even opening this at chip EV.
Nope.
But, we are opening some more. Still kind of wide. I mean, it's very blocker heavy, so it's
king
like,
6 suited. Do you find this one?
Oh, yeah.
king 8 suited fold.
Final table. Let's go. Suited kings, but not the 8.
alright, here's another one.
Oh
This
my
is gonna be a fold.
goodness. All in.
Oh,
no,
no,
eh?
it's
no,
3-bet,
no,
not,
no,
fold.
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 Now you are finding quite a bit of all ins here, and here's a strange behavior. So I saw like some squeezing behavior yesterday when I was playing with it, where it basically just takes all of the suited kings and all of the suited aces. And
Yeah,
it
you
just-
want to block ace king, I think then.
Yeah, I think it's just like what their opening range is gonna be like. It's gonna be a lot of this.
But is it always against the small blind? Because small blind 3-bets like 15% or more, so he's the guy who's 3-bets the most. So I
Yeah,
guess
I
this is
haven't,
one of the widest we can go, maybe.
Yeah, it's interesting. I haven't actually mentally constructed a heuristic for that yet. But it's just something I was starting to notice that some of the squeezing behavior and 4-betting behavior is something crazy like this. And
Hey,
I mean-
can I ask a
Yeah, but
question
see
about
the
the,
small blind. That small blind is below there, so that's only the orange stuff is raising. So
yeah, so
That's
it's only
really
ace,
fun,
and
man.
ace king, that kind of stuff.
Wow, so I can go all in with king 5 suited and not look back.
you
Yeah. we're following a lot of assumptions here.
makes you
though.
feel good.
Until somebody calls you a donkey.
No, I'm
That's
fine with
That's
that.
the
All
best
right.
part, is when you
Little
hit
bit
when
deflated
you beat
after
him with
today,
a 4 and he
but,
calls
you
you.
know.
it.
Guess we can talk about it, so.
Hey, can I
Well,
ask?
and then, now is
they,
that also just, is that specific because we have such a chip lead over the other two players?
Mm.
So, yeah,
We have a big
um,
chip lead indeed. That's true.
Yeah, hey, do they show you the payout? This is final table, is there a payout schedule somewhere?
It's
There
only the
is-
last 3, yeah. So the
there
I
is.
got
think,
their-
I think this spot depends heavily on that 10 big blind stack.
So 1 second at a time. Let's finish like one question before we just keep talking over each other.
Oh,
Like,
sorry.
the payout question. Yeah, there is a payout schedule. It's not in the trainer here where we can kind of see it. But yeah, they do post that somewhere.
Okay.
I've got it somewhere. And then Ken, what were you saying with regards to what?
Well, do we get to jam the king X suited that wide solely because we have such a a fairly large chip lead over both players?
Right.
Like if
yeah,
we
I
all
think-
had 35 or whatever, probably isn't gonna do that, right?
Yeah, no, I agree, Ken. Like, I think the fact that we have a chip lead and we can't go broke in this simulation, in this hand, plays a lot into that. So there's a lot of assumptions that have to be made though, right? So this is
Yeah.
assuming not only that they're playing GTO ranges, but they're playing GTO, ICM adjusted ranges appropriately, given the scenario, and calling and folding appropriately. So the one caveat I would say to looking at this kind of stuff before you just draw some general heuristics and say, I'm gonna go jam king 5 suited, because I saw it in the chart, is I don't know how much of reality this is.
You can see the EV, yeah, or not, of those hands.
Well,
You
this is a
can.
computer opponent. You have to check out your actual footage range.
It's very marginal, huh?
Negative EV here.
I
Aye,
think-
aye,
Less
aye.
than folding is what it's.
I think
So
it's-
king 9 starts making money, I would guess.
But
you
we
could adjust
we
right side.
actually save half a
Wow.
big blind.
King 9's even losing money.
I mean, if
I would go.
What is the fault then?
Here's why I think that we
Folding
can
is
do it.
minus 0 point somewhat. Huh?
Yeah, it's minus
45.
one.
It-
Folding is worse.
yeah, it's a function that we're in the blinds is the only thing.
Oh,
Yeah,
sad.
there's one thing I think worth noting on this one. I don't
Yeah.
think it's just that we have 60. I think it's that the guy who folded has 10 is so critical.
The guy who folded had,
That
oh, yeah, yeah.
folding 10 is why we can push around these 20s.
Yeah,
Because they have
that's
such a
very
huge
good
risk
point.
premium.
That's a
Yeah,
really
that's
good
gonna
point.
That's gonna
I
play
didn't
into the
even notice the
calculation
muck.
for sure.
Ranges.
Say again, GB?
Yeah, you can
Oh,
push
I was-
around.
Yeah, that's important.
I was just saying, yeah, that's definitely gonna play into the calculus of this whole situation, being that they're gonna have to, they are just lighting money on fire when they go broke before this guy does, so. they-
Exactly.
You got the 20 blinds by the short hairs here. I mean, it's an interesting spot.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Next. I guess it did select just ICM tables unless we're just hitting red every time on red and black.
No, it's written final table, so it has to be ICM.
Yeah, no, I was just saying like, it said it was randomized when we selected it. So
Yeah.
it usually switches back and forth, but I'm not sure.
Maybe it's random
Uh,
stacks.
Muck it?
So what do we think the floor of the calling range is here? I think Jack 8 suited probably is calling.
No way. What if the big blind rejams?
Yeah, big stack, so you can.
Are you gonna do post
Pressure
flop
it.
with your jack 8 suited with
We
ICM?
can call fold. I mean, I think Jack 8 seems reasonable.
Your range
Jack
needs
9
to
for
have
sure.
some call folds in the constructed range, I would think.
I would play
Yeah.
jack 9.
Maybe Jack
Yeah.
9, Jack 8, Jack 9, somewhere in there. So
Jack
let's see,
8 feels bad, man.
Jack 9 is going bananas.
Oh,
Jack
wow.
8 is,
Ooh,
feels
that feels
bad.
even worse, actually. Going all in with jack 9, oh my goodness.
So what is orange? Just call?
Ah,
see note
Raise.
earlier, what we just talked about, like,
Okay.
there's 12 big blind stack here. So we can go pretty bananas versus these guys.
yeah,
And I think it's liking, it's choosing these hands because they hold up pretty well post flop when we get called by most of anything. So it's like ace, queen offsuit just wakes up and calls us here. And we have jack 9 or, you know,
So
King
we have
Jack
no
or-
calling range really, right?
Almost no calling indeed. It's only
yep, it's very,
So
it's
zero
not
point
really a-
7% calling.
Ah, so that sounds so very interesting because I thought we had one.
yeah,
Well,
0.7.
0.7.
Well, that actually makes sense in a small blind. Because if you call and big blind calls, you're out of position to 2 players. It's ICM, it's rough.
Yeah, and if any jams, it kind of puts you in a bad spot and you just wasted some money. Not a lot,
Want to
though.
put pressure pre-flop already.
Yeah, I think it's just we get to play bully. Is the underlying.
Bully. You're the big stack now.
narrative here. Yep,
uh-huh.
because the threats are gone. All right, four-handed. We raise. Ugh. So this is a feels bad man situation right here for sure. I think
Is this a
It's
4
gonna
bet
work.
bluff?
No, we just call.
I think.
There's
you
no way
probably-
I'm calling.
We don't call, I think. That's
Think about your range.
out of position. That's
I'm either folding or raising.
So Louis, if you call and the flop comes ace high, how do you feel?
I'm feeling bad, but it's not about how I feel. It's about I open every ace here or almost, and then I need to defend some of them against this 3-bet. And if we think about like ace, king, ace, queen, ace, jack, probably gonna give action. If we're looking at calling, now we're relying on ace 10, ace 9, ace 8, and ace 7. Maybe we can, I don't know, but
he's a medium stack, so he should be
I-
pretty tight, huh? I think.
yeah, sure. It's not a good spot.
So I would fold.
I would fold it. I think it's,
I think fold is probably best.
but I don't know what I'm doing.
100% positive after playing with this that we're not folding this, but
Then we raise.
yeah, well, see, that's kind of where I'm torn, where I'm wondering if we actually do just flat here.
No, I think like ace 5, the wheel, and then the better one can.
Ace 7 are pretty
Right, this
bad.
one is
I'm
in the
raising or
middle.
folding.
And it's high, so we can't fold it. So just go call the
Oh,
dirtiest.
Go
call-
like 20 or fold.
The dirtiest call you've ever done. The guy just has
Alright,
aces and you're
we're
battling
gonna
with ace
let-
7 off.
We're gonna let Louis Boyd lead the narrative of the decision making here unless there is like
Put it on me, it's okay.
really, really strong opposition. So Louis thinks he doesn't think call, he thinks fold.
No, I think it's a call.
Call. I'm kind of in your boat, Louis. Like I'm leaning 60% call, maybe 40% raise.
Ah, no way.
I'm 4-bet bluffing like 20% and folding the rest.
2
So
points.
So what is it? Ace 7 off?
You can see.
It's
Folding
everything. We're all right.
It's not calling.
So if you look at the
Not calling a lot,
frequency,
huh?
The most correct is, it's a true split between raising and folding here.
Yeah.
So like,
That's what I
flip a
thought.
coin. No,
I
you
just think you're in
can,
a terrible spot if you call.
We found the 2%. Go Louis.
It felt really, really bad as well to call here.
It's on the cutoff of
Okay, I
calling.
guess we let them run us over here.
so like the heuristic is the ones that kind of flop bad, we kind of just push our equity. a
And the
little bit
suited ones
pre-flop.
we call.
And you got the ace blocker.
They have more equity, yeah. They can more jam post flop.
Yeah, I know there's a lot fewer of them, but I mean, you have your calls with the suited ones, right?
Yeah,
It's a lot less, right? Because the common works.
It feels better to call with suited as
Yeah,
well.
they're just calling. Ace
Calling
5,
here
ripping
felt
top.
really bad, but I thought we needed to. I'm happy we don't need to.
how about raising ace 5 off? That feels real bad, man.
Yeah, but that's an outlier.
Yeah.
You're never gonna find that in
Yeah.
life, right? I mean,
I
that's the
raised.
way-
That was my first impulse.
You said to yourself, God, if I had king 5 off, I'd jam it. I'd
Oh,
raise
no,
it."
not king 5, ace 7.
God, I wish I had king 5 off. I would really.
Oh my
quit.
god, let's push it.
And jamming.
Yeah, my knee-jerk reaction is just, this is too good to do anything other than this. It may do this at some like minor frequency.
Is this
Yeah.
good enough to trap?
No,
I don't
absolutely
think
not.
so. I agree. I don't think it is.
That's
How about
gonna
ace queen
destroy
suited? Do we
the
ever trap? Do we ever
No.
just call it to
No.
induce?
No,
No.
we read faster with this.
I mean, because you're kind of drawing with you're trapping with a drawing hand. It's not.
Well, and the
Nobody-
guy's got you covered. I don't know. I don't know. It may do some calling with ace queens at some frequency, but it's not to trap. I
Probably,
think
yeah.
it's to manage SPR, right? Because
He's-
there's,
It's all middle stacks and he's opening into the short stack and he's from the cutoff.
I think we raise. I don't
So
think
I
we go
think
all in.
he's just like putting pressure here, so it's an easy jump.
I think we just raise.
so what's your plan, Ken? Are you raising?
Oh,
both?
God.
Well, I mean, if the big blind folds and the cutoff rejams, I'm probably folding because we got shorter stacks at the table, right?
Kind of.
No, one.
Just one?
Just
Two,
one.
isn't there a 21 big blind up there or I can't see these well. Oh, it's 34.
Pretty light, but only the 15 big blind.
I guess we
Alright.
got, I guess just jam. We're second shortest stack. It's fine.
Right, so it's constructing the jamming range with hands that flop well. Your blocker, weakest ace, suited
Oh, look
aces,
at that.
and all of these pairs like have mixed frequencies. This makes
Raise
sense.
small with ace queen suited. Does it call off, do you think? If we raise small, get shut
Yeah,
down?
probably,
It
yeah.
folds. I'm sure it folds.
You call off probably.
So it does raise ace jack some, ace 10, king, queen.
The way this range is structured, if we raise all in and then he jams, we are supposed to call with ace queen suited because we have wheels
It's in the upper left, so yeah.
and we have a bunch of bluffs here. So like king nine suited, king six suited, all the
You,
offsuit aces.
upper left are all the strong ones, so.
So if we remove a bunch of these, I mean, we're gonna be left with ace queen suited for sure. So we have to call off with ace queen suited.
I'm gonna look at this range and we'll find the answer. So 15 in the big blind and we're like 31 here. So 15 in the big blind, 31 here. I think this is our spot. Yeah, 34 opens. So we're looking at first 4-bet. So
It's interesting that ace jack suited calls. I guess they're call folding, I guess. That's not a trap.
It was built-in, I think.
Cut off. Cut off. It was cut off.
There's your
Yeah, I
payouts,
guess.
by the way.
yeah, you're right.
I knew it.
So
So dirty. So dirty. But
You gotta
I mean, I understand. It's folding ace king off.
No.
It's just not in
Well,
range, right? Okay.
Not in
it's
the
just out
range.
of range. Yeah, the range is, we're half jamming, half
Yeah.
here.
Jaka is not in range.
Alright,
Wide
next situation. I mean, I think we are just piling it in here and
Pretty cool feature, actually. Yeah.
I think it's a raise small. It's a raise small.
could
We're on
be.
the button. Are we small blind?
Small
You don't have a
0.5.
blocker here. It's super multi-way. And you don't wanna lose your 40 bigs here.
there's
So-
also a 6 big blind stack here.
Yeah.
28, 60, and then
Let's not run into kings
You
here.
might just call.
I like calling.
I like raising.
Why,
one
why
thing I
call?
always
I mean, I don't know. I get the raise, but why call?
Well, I mean, cutoff, yeah, like he's gotta be pretty strong just to call. I don't know, like, I just think I could call and negotiate.
No, he's
post
not
flop.
strong.
I don't wanna bust. I don't wanna jam. When I jam and get called, I'm in rough shape.
the
That's
one
why
thing
we
I do
raise
know,
small. We
like,
clear
it-
equity, we get it heads up. We can either get a good flop or not.
Heads up, I would raise.
We
I
are
think I
gonna
just
take it
wanna
heads up
call.
a lot if we raise here.
I would squeeze a lot here.
I
I think
just
this is
wanna
a raise, but
For me, this hand plays very simply. The middle position does not have a hand he can three bet or wants to three bet with, and the cutoff either. So they both don't have the top of their range. The only guy we
So-
need to worry about is early position.
I highly doubt there's any overcalling, honestly, when there's an ICM, when there's a bet call. I don't think there is very much
There
overcalling
is,
ever.
there is with hands that can like, there's gonna be a lot of set mining.
so LP,
but, like,
let me
but
ask
what
you
I like-
this. Go ahead,
What I
Ken.
like about calling here too is if the big blind rejams and the other two fold, we just have an easy call.
Yeah, but if the big blind overcalls and now you're seeing a flop with what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 people, including you. And the
Yeah,
flop, there's gonna be a queen, jack, or ace on the flop. You're out of your first stack. What do you do with that? I mean, it's like you're giving away your hand. I
Yeah,
think.
I would raise 3x, no, 3, 4x here.
Even if the big blind doesn't call, three players behind.
I mean, but so for Ken or for Louis, what's the advantage of calling here? That's
Well,
what
I don't know
I'm-
if the big blind has much of a calling range. It's gonna definitely have calls, but it's not gonna be like a normal big blind defend because he's he's happy to watch other people bust it where he's
Yeah,
at.
you can fold a lot indeed. So I don't mind what the big blind does. I mean, I wouldn't call because I have
I mean, it's an interesting spot. Like, these are all gonna be interesting, right? So we'll see.
Yeah.
I would, yeah,
So,
4x.
I'll show a heuristic. Okay, so let's say we're in the button, we have position. And we have an EP opener.
We
Do you
were
think,
small
do
line,
you
right?
thi-
Yeah, we're small blind, right?
just hear me out. Do
Okay.
you think heuristically, generally, the more flatters I add, do you think you'll see a more prominent calling flatting component or a less prominent? Do you think it'll raise more?
raise more.
Raise
Raise
more.
more.
Well, and chip leader's gonna raise more, I think, but I think middling stacks are gonna call more.
We're just gonna
I
go
think it's
back
gonna
to-
flatten more.
equidistant or equistacks, just.
I think
go
it's
back
gonna
to
call
the-
more,
Equal stacks.
I think it's
especially
gonna
on the
call.
button,
That's gonna
especially on the button.
Yeah, the button can maybe call more indeed, but I would normally raise more.
Yeah, because they're calling
This multi-way.
with finals.
I can only add 2. I thought I could add more.
See,
So
we
we
are
get-
almost like we're raising
Yeah.
more than we call.
We got 3% of the range. Let's go up here. Where's my range?
You just make it heads up and see what happens.
What is going on here? Multi-way. Oh, I gotta add
And
some.
it 70 bigs also, huh?
So we got 8.4 of the range. I guess they just don't have that spot for 70. Maybe if we go here. So we'll save the razor. We got a flatter. 10% of the range. We add another flatter. Doesn't even have a flatting range. Doesn't have a flatting range. I guess the point I'm trying to show is like, after looking at some of these spots, the more flatters there are, like the flatting range kind of just goes away. You're way more incentivized to squeeze. Now, like, I don't know if that's like gonna stick with the final table dynamic, but I would be shocked if we are committing chips here out of position in a, what's gonna be potentially a 5-way pot. Seems insane.
You mean to just flat?
Yeah, seems
No, I
insane.
agree. I mean, I feel like you're turning it into a set mine if you flat, and I don't understand
are.
why that's advantageous.
Yeah, I want to set mine and also just like flop an overpair and then just go crazy.
All right.
Like,
Vince is,
we're thinking about ICM.
An
Yeah,
over
these-
pair going crazy. Are you out of your mind?
Oh yeah, but
The
it's
final table.
it's crazy, yeah, in chat at least.
We're gonna go crazy if we hit the jack.
So what did you flat and it was wrong?
Why would you? Oh my goodness. So
There is
it's
no
never
flat.
a raise small. We need queens. Alright.
Just rip it, huh?
So
So-
like, so
I
why
thought
does
it was
why
strong
is it
enough to raise
why is it
small.
jam jacks, jam kings, raise queens? Like that's weird.
Because queens are strong enough. Jacks are not strong enough.
gotta
to-
Because
put-
he
Yeah,
also
but-
raised with ace queen and not with
No, I'm talking about
Okay.
kings, queens, and jacks. It's weird that
no, it's
check
not
it out
raised.
here.
I don't think it's weird at all.
Again,
You
gamble.
Oh, if you're wanting to incorporate a mixed strategy, okay, so you see here, the EV of non all-in raising aces is higher than it is jamming aces here. You have to protect this, otherwise you just always look nutted. So it's protecting that with queens, another strong
Okay.
hand. It also helps you incorporate king, queen suited. And then, you know, when you end up in situations where you have hands like this that you don't really know what to do with, instead of folding it, which is, you know,
So these are gonna be raised smalls fold with like king eight.
yep. Yeah,
Yeah,
I
but
think,
aces, ace queen, and queens complement each other, meaning
When
that
we-
the
when
villain
we
doesn't know what to do with a queen if he has a queen in his hand.
Looking at
Right.
also at this strategy, if we raise small, it's gonna be extremely easy to play against whatever comes. Because
Yeah.
if we raise small, we face a jam, we just get rid of ace queen off and the wheels and we call with queen.
no, okay, that makes sense. So I also think it's really interesting that the tens and nines just walk away.
Maybe we need to call some with ace queen suited. Given the range fun. We get rid of
Yeah, I
ace queen off, king eight suited, ace deuce.
yeah,
Why
you know, like-
Yeah,
why exactly is
I would
king
do
eight
that.
suited in the mix? I mean, what's the reasoning behind that on the chart?
King
Just
blocker.
bluff.
We're
Blocker.
blocking ace, king, pocket king, so we use king blockers and ace blockers. So that's
But we're
why,
doing that with king 10 also.
Yeah, I would
No.
add that. You see this a ton. You see this a ton in pre-flop charts where these
Probably
kind of.
folds a lot of hands with a 10 in it, so you don't
Right,
want to block the 10.
you wanna block
Going
the
back
call.
over here.
You don't want to
Going
block the
back-
10. That's the reason that king 10 is not in there.
Yeah, I wouldn't go too crazy with all of this or read too much into the tea leaves of these hands. Like, these are all marginal and fringy, like, balancing components.
Look at
This-
ace five, look at the EV. We're gonna see, it's very clear. It's make nothing. Zero.
Yeah, but also look at early positions raise first in. You see that he raises with a lot of 10s, so you don't want to block the 10. You block all auto folds then.
Yes, just we don't wanna have that.
I find it really interesting that the tens and nines just completely fold.
Yeah, it is interesting.
But you see
Yeah,
that
it
all
kind
the
of
time.
shows you how tight you actually need to be in the situation when you're entering a dangerous pot like this. I mean, all of these
What's the
potential-
non-all-in raise size?
So we,
It says right there, no, it
29.
doesn't.
some of them do, it doesn't have the all. Somebody's got a
Someone's gotta
TV
get
on,
muted.
kind of killing me a little bit.
No, it's not taking 29 combos.
So the multi-way pots, I looked into this yesterday, Vince. The multi-way pots don't actually have they don't have the raise size anywhere. And I just sent the guy a message. He hadn't messaged me back, but I mean, everything else I've seen as far as like squeeze spots and everything, it's pretty standard. So I'm assuming it would be somewhere like the standard 3.5x plus like 1.5 plus 1.5 or 2 and 2, somewhere in that neighborhood.
Hmm.
But I don't know. Next.
Hello, can you guys hear me? Mic check.
9-5 off. Yeah, we can
Hello, mic check. No.
easily fold that.
Hi guys.
Could we possibly simplify our strategy by not having a non-all-in raise size and just rip it?
Yeah, you definitely can. I was actually trying to say that, like, yeah.
You do
lose, like-
have hands that wanna raise small, like aces.
Yeah,
It's just
you
always
lose
gonna be
market.
better for aces 5 ways. You don't wanna pump too much on your full equity when you have aces. And then you wanna have one customer.
And it's nice to let you have a couple bluff combos if you'd like to really go after it,
Mhm. Yeah, this.
like
is
bluff
gonna be-
folds.
Like, would you rip Vince with aces here on this spot? Don't think so.
On the other spot with
I would.
three flatters, yeah, I would.
Feels bad.
Yeah, we can probably let this guy go.
So he min raises.
Or bad, easy fold.
I wouldn't be surprised if it's actually choosing like ace deuce and ace three as bluff combos to target
As-
ace five. and
As
four,
5
but-
bets? Never.
He opened
Five bet.
14.5.
Jesus.
Wow.
All of it.
Never say
Oh, he
never
four
again.
bet. Okay, I see what happened.
But I'm
But-
really surprised that there isn't more flatting. I guess there's some flatting here.
So that's a
This
fold.
is the 4 bet.
Yeah, you want to have an ace in your hand as a 4-bet bluff. That I understand.
Yeah, I mean,
5
like,
bet jamming as a bluff. You better hit the collar here, man.
yeah, I don't know how much I trust like these higher order charts
Yeah.
just because.
Man,
I think I trust him, but only if the other one plays as a solver, and he does.
Right, yeah. I don't trust him in the sense that, I don't know if Mr. Cutoff in actuality is finding the bluffs here.
And not enough, probably.
What if his raise would be only 12 big
oh
blinds?
my
Not-
goodness, go all in.
You saw that previously.
I mean, 12 big blinds, it probably just makes it more of a.
He
more
has
of
to
a-
call, he's only 8 bigs. So
I'm
he has to
folding.
call.
As much as I wanna fold, we saw
guess it's
earlier
all
that it was ripping suited nines because we're like 1 pip under his offsuit opening range.
So this is a different situation, I think, because our stack is not as massive as it was.
And it is against the small stack.
We're not
I
ahead
would
of
like to
anything.
fold
We're not ahead of anything he's opening off of 10 big blinds.
I wouldn't call. I would go
That-
all
that-
in. or
That's
fold.
why we go all in, Ken, because
I just fold.
we get
It's a fold.
slightly better hands than ours to fold.
I bet
I
you,
would-
I mean, well, I guess the question is, what is
Never all in.
what is a small open range at big
Never
10 big
call.
blinds? What is a small open range at 10 big blinds when you're partners with the short stack?
Offsuit
Oh,
10,
look at that. So like, I don't know, if I had to guess, it's probably gonna be suited 10x. Broadways, it's gonna probably be like ace nine offsuit plus ace
king
ace
10
ten.
off.
King ten
So he's not
off.
gonna fold any pairs. He's not gonna fold any ace X. He's not gonna
think-
Why
fold.
isn't he jamming all that? That's what I don't get.
He's not
I
gonna
mean,
fold his king X that he opens. He's gonna
Hey,
maybe fold.
and calm down.
hang on a
Right
second.
now, all of his pairs, I believe, are just open ripping.
That's what
Yeah,
I
he
think
should
too.
have.
Except
Yep.
aces, except aces.
Yeah, but.
I mean,
like,
I think aces are in this small open range, in the, min open
maybe
range.
king also,
Just
I
an
don't know.
easy fold for me.
I just think this is a
Your
fold.
raise.
I want to have a king or an ace in my hand to bluff.
Yeah, there you
I have
go.
a fold sensing my three.
I think in game, I'm probably doing a lot of this. But I
I'm
think,
always folding in reality, but I wanna
I
find
think
more. gems.
I think in theory, it's gonna like to do this at some frequency. But I don't think this is bad.
It's like
Nope.
Chaz says, you need an ace and probably a king or a king.
But you see this, it's like, it's close. It's not like crazy.
Yeah, but you want to have a king or a queen.
Alright.
First,
So
you
why
should
is
fold your
Jack
king,
nine? It's
fold
not
your
even in his.
aces, and then
Oh,
the
it's a
rest.
fold. Yeah, I see it.
Alright,
Cool. So this is what his range for whoever was asking, right? You got good blocker hands. And then like the top of the range. So
oh, so he's not opening offsuit tens, just the.
No.
ace?
Yeah, okay, so like, who does that? I mean, do you really, that's
Nobody.
Oh, that's a pretty
Whoever
good
trains with
strategy.
this shit.
So in reality, I'm probably jamming close to this range if I'm this guy in
Yep.
this situation. Like I'm taking ace five offsuit here and just piling it in at some frequency, final six.
I wouldn't.
Um,
But
Yeah, like,
maybe ace
I'm-
nine
I'm-
does for me.
this is
Louis
like,
went right.
this is a little more advanced. And doing a split strategy like this at 10 big blinds, you don't find yourself at 10 big blinds having to implement this all that often. And like you said, it's marginal, like equity differences. So like ace nine, 0.16 versus 0.12.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's the aces that get more equity. Yeah, that's the reason.
I think it's a good fold because he's ahead of all.
But I guess the point in this is, I mean, it's a fold even against that. It's more of a fold, I think, against the real world. Right?
Yeah, I would agree.
And so many short stacks.
That's the reason I said I want to have an ace or a king.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm calling. This here. Nice
Oh, I
hand.
thought you were talking about the last one.
I'm with you, Ken. I think this is a call.
I'm gonna
You-
call here
I
too.
saw you.
Can
it's
you
funny,
rejam it?
Galen, because I saw you with my two eyes fold king, queen suited.
That may or may not have happened. Once again.
Yeah, the
No.
other guy was a nit, huh? Louis?
Call.
No, I
We
think
don't-
it was
if we
just
were-
chip leader.
If we
Suited
covered,
Broadway, I don't think we get to
would
fold.
aggressively, But since we don't cover, I think we just,
Fold it,
Wait, okay.
fold.
now it's close, like it's it's marginal, like.
Even folding some.
The call is losing chips. Look at this. It was losing 0.99.
Yeah, it's a three
Yeah,
bet
but folding
pot.
is
We're gonna
also
check
losing.
flop and fold a lot, but it still can make a really great hand. So I think we gotta see the flop for that price.
It just
Yeah,
saves a bit more chips than folding. Like it's really breaking even.
Yeah,
Um,
breaking. Yeah,
But yeah, like if we don't defend, we
And-
get run over too, right? Like we can't just always fold. So we have to
Consider
have-
that this guy is not bluffing often enough.
Who was folding queen jack suited there?
I am.
I raised my hand. I do.
Huh. I'm never folding there.
I'm surprised this wasn't,
Hey,
oh,
over-
he's got
Mhm.
21, okay.
Don't
Oh.
listen to big poker, Vince. Keep
This is a
the
fold.
strategy going.
Fold it.
That previous spot, what is ace jack off doing?
We can't go back.
We can look at it. We can look at it afterwards.
It was
After-
Because you
raising
guys are
small.
like,
It was
you're
raising
saying,
small.
yeah, you're saying like you're not folding queen 10, but I'm seeing draft gangers folding ace jack in his super million win.
You defend more suited stuff than you do
Doesn't
offsuit.
mean it's good.
You gotta be careful with that, just because like the situation could be completely different. The dynamic
Yeah.
could be completely different.
No, it's even the guy, he opened twice, the guy 3-bet him twice, and he still folds.
I'm still.
It wasn't, I don't think it was.
Still be different.
I like that.
Good 4-bet bluff ace jack
All the
maybe.
stack
with
sizes
fold.
are-
I mean,
Fold is queen
You
jack.
defend more suited combos for sure.
Why don't we have?
Oh, little bit of Rapinski.
I'm not finding these right here. These jam.
Who's going
components.
all in with king 5 off?
Yeah, no, I'm just
5-4
folding this
off.
hand too.
I do now. No.
3 deuce suited.
LP's gonna have a rough month after the study session.
He wants to jam 5-2 suited.
He's
now.
gonna be in that ICM jail for a long time.
Oh, 5-2 suited.
Yeah, you could probably just omit this stuff. I don't think we need to balance everything with the fives and
No,
threes. and
Players
deuces.
don't know how you play, so you don't have to balance.
But
I
Louis,
missed it. Was it a fold?
if you jam 4-2 in this situation, please bring it to the session.
It was a mix between a jam and a fold. Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
majority
I
jamming.
know.
though.
But the fold is nothing special. That's the point.
Right. So this is just gonna be a fold. We don't want.
Yeah, just
Fold it.
Obvious.
you don't even open it, so why would you call?
Right. We need to be pretty tight here, as you can see. Oh boy, this is one of those hands where we might see some shenanigans.
Hmm.
Oh, we can put a lot of pressure.
It's gonna be one of these, I
Oh.
think.
Yeah, I think also.
Yeah,
I want to go all in
I'm
with
just
it.
gonna go all in.
I'm just gonna call.
So it's interesting because we
Okay.
can't lead the action, but I think it's gonna wanna play this aggressively.
Yeah.
I think the
Yeah,
small
got
blind
it.
flatting with 15 big blinds is like a red flag, and alarms are going off in my head.
Yeah, that's a good
Oh.
point. That's a really good point.
But still, you get almost the odds if he has ace-ace. I mean, who cares?
Yeah, so we call.
No, so you raise all in.
Incorrect.
Oh, we're folding even.
It's a
Folding.
fold.
Oh,
Wow,
Yeah, who finds
Never.
that fold?
that's I wouldn't fold.
No one.
I knew it felt dangerous. I'm just not good enough to fold.
you're in good company.
I knew calling was bad. That felt dangerous, but I'm just not good enough to fold.
Well, you're already in for one big line. Why can't you call?
Cause it's dangerous post flop.
What about the pot odds and stuff? How much do we get pre-flop?
I mean,
We
you
get a
get
lot of-
insane
yeah,
odds,
but we
right?
have a lot of reversed implied odds. That's the
Yeah,
problem.
so it's past just like pot odds and stuff at this point. Like you have to like look at the FGS calculations and like future value and things like that, where you can call here and yeah, you're an EV hero, right? You made the perfect play, but how much do you stand to lose? How is your range doing post flop versus their ranges, and how much are you standing to lose, you know, in the short term?
So we fold queen jack suited here.
In the big
Is
blind.
it ICM? ICM stuff or
Amazing.
GPV?
yeah.
It's final
like-
table ICM, yeah.
Pretty sweet.
Okay. Oh,
I'd never fold queen jack suited here.
Yeah, I'm not finding the fold either. This is pretty interesting.
There's only one smaller stack. No, two smaller.
So what we could actually do with this that might be fun, Louis, is why don't we take some of the stuff down and put it into HRC and do kind of a comparative analysis to see what we can come up with there.
Yeah, I would like to see the HRC answer, and then I want to do the one that's more splashy.
Well, there's nothing less splashy than folding queen jack suited.
All right, so what's the easiest way to do this?
Can I have the screen for 10 seconds while you're rooting that out?
Yeah, go ahead.
I just want to show Josh that hand. I ran it while we were doing this since I had it already set up. I had just run that spot, but with different flop. I guess it's this one.
So Louis, for this situation, I wouldn't use the Monte Carlo engine, would I? Or would I use the Monte Carlo engine?
Yes, you would.
Yeah.
Do you have
If want to
HRC
have
beta?
calling range, you have to use Monte Carlo.
I do not have the beta currently. I just have the other one. But we have the ranges for all of these spots that we can put in to get a reasonable idea.
So that 5-3 actually didn't mind raising flop or turn, actually. What was the
So-
turn?
But it also did flatted, right? Flats were in the.
Yeah. Flatten's good. If they were
Okay.
all, it was indifferent. And what was the turn?
Hold on a second.
Clubs.
I
That was
pulled
a-
it back up.
I
The
got
turn
it.
was
I got
a
it.
Six
three
free
clubs.
Three of clubs, and you check. And he bet like small again, 2 big blind, I think.
Yep.
And then you just
He bet-
call.
he
I
bet-
mean, you
he
can,
bet
there's
three
some
big
raise
blinds
in here
enough to-
too. There's some raise in
Ken, he
here
bet-
too, but once you call and get to the river, it was a 6 of hearts, I think.
It was a 6 of hearts. That's correct.
So then, I mean, you're pretty much losing money when he bets. He bet half pot. So,
But it's
Okay,
not
so
folding.
what's the, so there's a lot of calls in that. That's weird.
It's
yeah, I
never
mean,
folding ICM.
you're not making much money. And this is MTT ranges, so I mean, you're playing cash, but I think if the guy's limping from the small blind, he's probably doesn't know what he's doing anyway.
He did not know.
In cash, right? So, I mean, this is probably close.
40.
Yeah, so I wanna, so the last thing you just said, I never limp, but I thought that I wanna go to, where the hell is it? I don't think I have it.
Wait a minute.
Is
That-
the
there wasn't a
100
limp
big
there.
blind, the 100 big blind cash ranges have no limps from the small blind?
Yeah.
How much
well,
does he
the-
need to
the
bluff,
150 does.
How
But
much
go
does he
back.
need to bluff for us to be able to call with 5-3 here?
And he
Yeah,
only
be
had,
careful,
had 60 bigs. This was a 60 big blind. He had like 62 or 3 bigs, I think.
Yeah,
Right.
but press on check, Ken. I wanna see the bluffing range for the river.
I don't think he didn't limp
On
pre-flop.
squares,
He
square
raised.
size to proportional.
He limped. I can show you the hand
Oh, he
again, or I
did?
can tell you what
Oh,
it
I'm
said.
sorry.
Yeah,
So
I mean,
you have
just
to
played it
bluff
wrong.
a
I
lot
thought-
there.
to recap, small blind limps, I
4,
I
5.
check my option, flop ace, king, two
Ooh.
diamonds. I've, 1 big blind into 2 big blinds, I call, 3 big blinds into 4 big blinds on the turn.
Oh, he
it's a
bet
little bit
bigger on
bigger than-
it. So he actually did bet bigger on the turn.
He bet 75%.
So I gave him a small bet. So he bets like 65, right?
Yeah,
And
that's,
now you're just raising.
What?
Wow.
I mean, I felt like this was a
Yeah, you
pot.
can-
I felt like this was a hand, like when
Ranges-
you're gonna wanna
it's
raise this type of
difficult,
stuff
yeah.
a lot. I just thought it would be maybe bluffing on the river.
yeah,
It's difficult, because the ranges are different. You don't know.
Yeah, I mean, we have no idea what his range is. If he's limping
well,
from
look,
the
I mean,
small
so this
blind.
is
Yeah, that's
interesting.
what I mean. You don't have an ID, so.
But, I mean, he limped king 9, so that's kind of like a small blind. It's kind of like an MTT range, right? Like he's small blind, king 9's
You
gonna
don't
limp.
know. Maybe he limps with every hand. Maybe he doesn't limp at all, only with kings. I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah, so here's the thing is, so he's a limp everything. So I have the HUD stats on, this is 82 hands, 83-21 with a 9% 3 bet. So, I mean, he's flatting a ton of shit here.
Yeah, he's
I
just
think
not
it's like,
playing good.
he's playing a lot of hands.
All
That's,
right, Louis, help me out here for a sec, but,
That's just the fold versus them players. When they keep betting, they have something.
yeah, I think,
If he's
I
loose,
think you're right. That's
most
why I
of them
flagged
are
that.
loose passive, so.
well, so like the question that I had was, I'm sitting here with wide ranges. How do I then overcall made hands? Like, you know,
Depends on how he plays post flop.
yeah. All right.
Yeah,
anyway,
a lot of
this
times
was-
those players will bet flop and give up turn if they don't have anything.
Yeah.
Most of the time.
If they are
Um,
passive and folding against raises, then yeah, you just float them and call,
that's what I did, and then I just
call,
hung
and
up.
then bet on the turn and or fold on the turn, whatever they do.
Yeah.
Let's go back to the queen jack hand.
Yeah, okay, thanks. I don't want to disrupt that group anymore.
That's fine. I want to, and I'll clarify
Ken,
one
thank
thing
you for
when you
doing
said
that. That
about
was
the,
great.
when you
That was
guys
really
asked about the, is there any flatting range from the small blind at 100 big blinds deep? In our charts, there isn't, but that's not accurate. What it is we have a chart at 100 with no flatting range. We have a chart at 150 with a flatting range, not because it's 150, but because they put in different parameters. So you can, in a cash game, you can, from the small blind, you can simplify your strategy and have no limps and play slightly tighter, or you can play a more complicated strategy with some limps and some limp raises and, the mixed strategy.
Yeah, but
So
Scott,
Has
The
slightly
main
higher
idea
LTV.
behind.
Yeah, I think
also-
that's
Scott,
right.
it also depends on the rake.
That's it. The
Right.
main
It's-
idea is the rake in cash is why you don't really
Yeah.
want to limp from
If,
small
if
blind.
you're
Right, but-
if you play high level, then you can limp more than you play low
Yeah.
level. Because then
Yeah, so
Right,
this
and
is
so-
this is
and
50
so it-
NL.
proportional.
This was 50 NL, and I think I don't limp from the small blind.
Yeah, the rake is
Exactly.
pretty
And
big,
so-
so don't limp.
Right.
But if they're doing it, it's written at the 150, but it's not because it's 150. It's because it was making a different assumption about the rake.
Okay.
So,
Well,
Probably.
Right,
I mean, he was
Yeah,
he
also
was an
because you're
83
deeper, huh?
VPIP, so he's not
Yeah.
on the charts.
he was an 83 VPIP overall or from
Yeah.
the small blind? Oh,
No,
Jesus,
I
no.
don't know what a
No.
small blind VPIP was. I can
If
look.
he's
it up.
No, that's
overall
crazy.
83, then
Okay,
it's
never
probably
mind.
100 from the small
It's
blind.
doing it from everywhere if it's 83, right?
Yeah, that's everything.
It's probably everything from the small blind.
So button.
Well, that's the beauty of that game.
But now you have to recognize what he's doing post flop and then act on it.
Yeah, I tried to ask him what he had, but he wouldn't tell me before
Yeah, king nine.
I called.
Oh,
No, he didn't. He hit this king on the flop, and he just bet it 3 times.
Yeah,
Yeah, but
I'm
he
surprised he
also
sized
bet it
up on
3
the
times,
turn.
so it's like value betting.
Well, so like you're talking. Well, let me think about that for a second. There wasn't a lot of
He
money in
gets
the pot
scared.
because it's a limp pot, so I think the sizing sometimes gets a little weird when it gets really small.
he also gets scared of the 2 flush draws.
And he got shared of the 2 flush draws too. Yeah,
That's also true.
yeah. I got a ton of these. I mean, I'm happy to bring these in. You know,
Anytime, Josh. So what are you trying to see, yeah?
I'm just gonna compare the HRC solution with the given inputs from these Munker solutions to see how close it actually becomes when we look at the decision making, the decision tree for this. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
So we need to look at the small blinds calling range. Right here.
I want to understand why that's a fold because of ICM. Why is queen jack a fold there? Is that a call early in the tournament?
Well, we're gonna investigate some of the EV of this, given the situation.
Hey, Galen, remember when we were looking at these last week?
I do.
And I suggested you go in Discord?
Mm-hmm.
Did you happen to do it?
I have gone into their Discord a little bit. I
Because-
didn't really, I've been sticking more with using the old HRC. I haven't really gotten a straight answer. Like, they were talking about it works differently, like, in the way the calculations are done.
Well, what's interesting is that day I happened to go back in there and there was a thread comparing it with Munker and what the differences are. I don't really understand all that lingo. So you were kind of curious how the algorithms are compared to Munker. There happened to be a discussion in there about it that day.
Can you link me that discussion, Ken? Because I'm
Yeah,
also.
I'll show you if I can find it. They don't get a lot of activity in there, so it shouldn't be too hard.
So small blind
Um,
multi-way.
I'm in that
given-
Discord channel also.
Let's see.
They do not really have.
Oh, they do.
a-
Wow, there's 300 messages since then, but I think I'm at where I last looked. So
Is it
Let's see.
encrypting or which channel it is? That's how you can search it actually. Yeah, so maybe I can search for Monka. 32.
This is an interesting range. It's not really existent. All right, so now we want to look at what the big blind's supposed to be doing here. All right, so this is, we need to edit this range.
I'll just do the best response.
I want to get a, I want to see if it comes to the same conclusion using the same inputs that we have here. Best response may not be the same, same as
I
same
see.
ranges. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It will be a little bit different because I've only put a 3-bet all-in sizing, but we'll still tell it to do that. Oh, that may be something I need to actually change. I may need to have a call size or a calling range here, huh?
And you
Well,
put
it
the
does.
you put the all-ins
Enter your
with
commercial
the
business phone
raise.
number, beginning with the area code.
So it does have a calling range here from the big blind, edit range. Yeah, see, as far as EV goes, it's like calling everything. So we'll say something like hand weights 50, put it there. So,
After you edit range, you have to press play and rerun it.
right, yeah, that's kind of what I was gonna do here. So,
What I see depends on script you look how close you get. There's not a lot of.
That's okay. 45 million.
yeah,
Pretty good.
I should, it needs to be set to reset, correct? And we want to do the entire tree because I want to look at this one and that one, right?
Fine.
Yep.
Okay, so while you're doing this, I'm gonna say goodbye. This is great. Thanks.
Thanks a lot,
Yep.
Josh. Take
Take
care.
it easy, Josh.
Bye.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not the best. I'm getting back in the swing of things with HRC. So if I'm doing something wrong, somebody please point it out.
LP's on it. I'm looking for that thread. Maybe it was in a different channel.
Never mind. I can find it myself.
Well, I'm not doing nothing else at the moment.
You can search for Monka.
Yeah, I know I was gonna try that, but I feel like when I go back, it leaves me off at the last threads I looked at. Because you'll have like 41 new messages at the top or whatever. So it should take me kind of right to where the threads were.
Was it? It was today, or do you know?
It's about a week ago, maybe a week, maybe 10 days ago.
Okay, so it should be.
Aha. Look at this. It's extremely close. It is the same solution to like if you look at king, queen off, it's different. But almost everything else.
So what I'm
Jack
looking at here,
10, it's picking exactly the same ends. Even though you left like all in for like queens and king, queen suited, it's picking them as well. That's it.
so look at this EV. So we got the call, the 3-bet. So this is, oh wait, okay. I need to
Okay,
find-
it's in the blog.
Gavin, I wanna have you do something real quick. Hit
Sure.
the HRC website, please.
Go to the website.
Yes.
Okay, so
Blog?
hold, resource calculator.
So there's a place called beta. Where is it?
I at you, Josh. So that it's kind of where it
Click on
starts.
download maybe.
It's probably under downloads.
There's a brief discussion on it.
HRC, no.
Blog maybe, news. It's gotta be under news. HRC beta. HRC last chance reminder, HRC beta.
It actually maybe starts above that. Let's see.
Post flop. Okay, so here, this is where it's gotta be, right?
Yes. So it's actually a lot better.
Is it? Okay,
It is.
I'll play with it.
It is, and right now I think it's free because when you're looking at range, you have extra options. But yeah, as we said, it's extremely close.
Right, okay, so I'm gonna do a new share. We're gonna go back to window. And
See another
There's
hand?
not a lot of information in there.
need to go here.
No, it's just
and-
they touched on a little bit, but it's very similar, I think.
No, it's
Yeah.
probably
So solutions are
business.
really good. Like this side, is really, really expensive, but it has charts. The only problem with it is that there's only charts. But with this trainer, it's a great add-on.
Yeah,
sure.
it is.
I always
But
vote.
yeah, so it's like 800 euros
I
just
am
for charts.
It's a lot of charts though. Like the total amount is 121,000, 63 different ICM solution or sims. 58 different like full trees for chip EV. It's pretty good. Stack depths, tons.
Yeah.
But
It's only charts. That's the,
shoot.
but it's really good.
Okay, here. Are we back here? Can we see Pre-Flop Academy now?
I wanna go all in here.
Oh, I'm sorry. What was your
we
results?
can see it.
Was it similar ranges?
Yeah, it's somewhat. I mean, it's still like the way it's looking, HRC is looking at it, it wants to just basically call everything. Everything's a profitable call is what it looks like. And then it's wanting to jam a similar range.
Yeah, that's what you see a lot in HRC.
Yeah, so that's why
Yeah,
the beta is nice because beta will consider your post flop. I don't know if that's what you were looking at or not, so we'll change a bit.
That will change a lot.
Yeah.
Now it's just assumes check down post flop.
I want to shove here. Oh, good.
Shoving is the correct response.
Yay.
Same with Ice Miser, huh? That's the same problem.
Yeah, right. You're just playing to the flop. You're just playing to the flop and then that's it.
Yeah, that's it.
Mhm.
Just call.
Yeah, this is gonna be a call. I would think. This hand flops and plays really well post flop.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're calling basically all the suits.
Oh, look at
So-
the bluffs. So much polarization here.
Yeah, you're taking your worst, best blocker hands.
Mostly raising small when we bluff. Okay, cool.
Yeah, almost no all ins.
It's still ICM final table, is it?
Yes.
Correct.
Okay.
I wouldn't be surprised to see this at some frequency.
Think
This may
it's
be too wide though.
mostly just a fold.
If the I would have suited hand to raise.
I think in
Or not.
We can put a
See,
lot of
how-
pressure on a 30 big blind stack with that 12 big blinds there though.
Yeah, but we are out of position, so playing post flop small SPR is not in our favor, I think.
Yeah, it may actually just do this then.
I would
Or
rip
just
or
No, just fold. It's a fold most of the time. 80%.
So we had it backwards. It's taking, it is doing some not all in sizing, but it really wants to pull from these suited guys. Like we need to go to the flop with a hand that's gonna perform okay.
Hey,
Yeah,
yeah,
as
sorry. To the
yeah, the
point
king suits
before-
are raising small. So it's
Mhm.
The positional advantage is more severe the deeper stacked you are. So playing out of position is not that bad when you're short stacked.
True.
But yeah.
But you want to be deep stacked because you want to put pressure. That's
Yeah,
my
that-
thinking.
So saying that like we're gonna be out of position, short stacked, is bad. It is bad. It's not comparatively. It's not that bad.
That's true. That's true.
Alright, so is that queen jack suited hand of hearts and last hand? Is that
How-
all
and-
early?
And when you're
no,
thinking about that, oh, sorry,
Oh,
Ace King, you were talking.
hello? Is that a call early in the tournament for the fold there because of ICM final table? I mean, I'm kind of confused.
You're talking really low. I'm having a hard time following.
You're not talking loud enough or your microphone is not working correctly, Ace King.
Yeah, and I just bought a new microphone. So that queen jack hand, is that a call early in the tournament and a fold because of ICM here?
Yeah, that would definitely be the situation, the driving factor. I mean, you never fold that hand, in just a chip EV scenario. Like you want to take that to the flop every day.
Yeah.
I think this is probably just gonna be a flat. I wouldn't be surprised if it does something. I don't think it's gonna do anything crazy. I mean, there's a lot of pressure on this
I would
dude.
flat a lot indeed.
I want to go back one question. When we were talking about being out of position, not so bad when you're short stacked, how short are we talking? Is 30 big blinds short for that?
It
For
was
that
stack to
conversation,
pot
or-
ratio we talked
Yeah,
about.
that's right. The stack to pot ratio is the driving factor there, where it's like.
Right, so
you
what,
know,
so what kind of numbers are we looking at for SPRs where we say out of position is not a big deal compared to when it's a big deal?
Yeah,
Well, so
small
it's
versus
like,
big.
I guess it kind of depends on like, if the stack to pot ratio is 1 and you have top pair, are you ever just folding to?
No, no,
Yeah, so if it's,
I'm not folding I'm not folding any pair when the stack to pot ratio is 1.
right, so then you start looking at like, I don't know, 1.5 maybe. I'm probably still not folding top pairs,
Second pair also not.
you know.
My guess is over 40 big blinds. I don't know.
I would say up till 3, I would consider it small, and up to 10, it's big.
That's probably,
Basically, in a single raise pot, like when you have 20 big blinds, you're never folding a top pair to a triple barrel.
which is about a SPR of 4 or so, yeah.
Yeah, so
Okay.
that's about it.
That's a
Okay.
good metric.
So in that case, in that one, our SPR wasn't gonna be small, it was gonna be medium because we were playing 30 big blinds to start in a single raised pot.
Mm-hmm.
True, but they're
Okay,
not
just-
big.
Yeah, okay,
So, the hands we do wanna be jamming here are similar to before. It's pulling from the wheel aces, suited Broadway, and then like some of these little pairs, which I'm never doing this.
King 9 is just a pip and a king 10.
So at the king 9, let's say we flat it as perfectly it should be, and we hit a king against early position. What are we doing in ICM final table?
Check
Never
raising
fold.
all in.
Because he's a small stack also. I mean, we are not big stack, but
Yeah, we
SPR
got covered.
But he has all these stronger kings in his range
Sure.
than we do.
yeah, but
Yes,
we
he
have top
does.
pair.
Ace king, king queen.
But it's ICM. Still check all in.
Yeah,
if,
you're
if,
at risk.
if you don't trust that, you should not call preflop.
This is a fold. I
Okay.
don't, this isn't even close. Ace 4 offsuit. Dude, there's a guy with 100, almost 100 big blinds here. I think we're just never doing anything other than
Yeah.
that. It is pulling from these suited little aces again, though.
Yeah, you want to not block his flooding.
I wouldn't be surprised to see some 3-betting here and probably some flatting. I don't know.
You don't. I don't think you see a lot of flooding here.
What
because the
about
big
all
blind is a
in?
bigger value.
All in
When
would
the
be.
chip
disaster.
leader, yeah, no. I guess we just fold.
I think we could just fold or
Raise,
flat
probably.
here.
I would raise.
He raised into the chip leader, so I guess we just sidestep. What would you do in game here, Gavin? You always fold.
Never.
I
fold,
don't
never
know.
fold.
I'm probably not always folding. He's just not gonna show up with. I'm gonna be doing a lot of this, to be honest, probably in game.
Okay.
Yeah, in game, I'm calling or folding.
Yeah.
Incorrect. You need to fold.
Raise. Fold.
All
Yeah,
right.
the
Yeah.
fold portion's correct.
Huh?
Yeah, it's one of those hands.
There's
that,
also always a sliver, Vince, or not?
Exactly.
See, I think it's gonna be doing a lot of this here.
44. Yeah, probably.
I think we're gonna be.
Although you
just-
don't like it, the small blind, I can easily call, of course. Of the
What-
no, the 10
the
bigs
big
are
blind?
always a fold.
It is raising, but it's not piling for whatever reason.
Maybe it wants to fold if someone rips it.
What's the
Maybe
raise?
it's
What's
like-
the 3-bet size again?
Not piling against anyone, so
4.25, so I mean, you're basically raising enough to put him all in.
Yep.
But,
and if he raises, then the button has to fold almost everything.
yeah,
Well-
he really,
And if he goes all in, you just fold this one.
So that would put, I mean, say the hijack goes all in, then the button can't necessarily re-raise here, so. I mean,
If he folds, then probably you have to call. I don't know.
well,
This is,
even if
You
you
have to
call,
call. The odds are just too good.
I feel like if you shove, the hijack's gonna call, the button's gonna fold. Most likely.
All in.
Well, the
Cool.
fact, okay, so this guy right here needs to fold almost everything when I isolate this guy, because there's an opportunity for him to make actual dollars here. So since I have the ability to knock him out still, he's gonna have to call either very tight. We're talking like if he was somehow trapping with aces and kings, I mean, he's probably folding ace king here. Or should be, like theoretically, if actually, probably not an actual game, but
Yeah, but still, if he goes all in, then you can just fold. I mean,
And it's
Yeah.
really important that our raise size there is such that, that he can't jam over it, that the hijack can't jam over, a
that
jam.
the hijack can jam indeed. That's the.
right.
The
well,
10,
it-
we,
it
meaning
doesn't
if we
real-
raise, right, if we raise 5 and the short stack jams for 10, we're calling, but we don't want to set it up so that the hijack can jam over the 10, right? Or do we not care because we're going to just fold?
The hijack can always jam over 10.
Oh, right, because we've raised him. Never mind. I'm an idiot.
No, it's the reason is
Yeah.
you want the hijack to jam, such that the button has to fold a lot.
I didn't mean the hijack. I meant the button, and I was wrong anyway.
I think this is gonna be a call a lot. What do you think the best hand we're folding here is?
Folding sevens.
Oh, I think we're
No,
folding tighter than
let's see.
that.
What is he raised to 25? He's not the big stack.
Calling nine
Whoa.
plus.
He
No?
doesn't do that with aces, so I would call.
I think we fold eights.
I was gonna
Yeah,
say, I
nine-
think
nine plus.
it probably mixes at nines is what I was thinking, like
I
tens
think
is
we fold
probably.
sixes.
Yeah,
That's too much.
Are we the real small stack? No, we are not.
If
the
you
small
rumble
stack,
with
so it
sevens
must
here,
be
I
a
think
bit
you,
tight.
there's an 8 big blind stack, right?
Yeah, there's an 8 and a 12 big blind stack, so
And it's
8-12.
not
Oh.
the button ripping, it's the hijack. So he's ripping into 4 players. 2 rejams.
I think-
Oh yeah.
two
I
with
think we can
eights
fold
or
sevens
nines.
there. Yeah, I can fold
Sevens is per
sevens there.
fold.
I would fold sevens,
Sevens,
eights, nines. No, nines I would start calling at least.
Oh, is this a
Nine
full
plus.
table? Oh,
Ah, yeah. Yeah,
I
you
want to
can't-
change my answer.
Look at this.
You-
No, you-
After you see the answer, look at your 6.
Look at
Look at
this.
your
After-
6 carefully, open your eyes.
I thought this was three-handed. My bad.
Uh-huh.
So you don't call with
But
nine?
then you call with deuces, Vince.
Nah.
Pocket 6
Others.
for Vince, wow.
So this is what it's
I think
jamming.
with 300 you can call with sixes indeed.
Yeah,
So-
three-handed.
And you're the smallest stack, and he's the biggest stack. So that's a lot of difference.
We can see new hand.
Okay.
So you don't call with nine? You fold nine here or you call?
Fold
No, you
nines.
fold nine.
Oh, do you think it's a raise here?
Okay.
No,
Dude,
just fold.
this hand plays pretty well post flop. It does like suited nines and tens.
There are a lot of even
Fold.
stacks, so you would just.
Okay, so
fold.
3-bet it and don't look back.
I like fold.
I like fold.
I would fold.
I would 3-bet. Oh, no.
Clear fold.
We're a
How-
bit
how
out of
many
line
pips-
here.
How many pips is that, Louis? How many?
I don't know. 3?
3 off?
10.
3 off from pocket queen.
I guess we need to play
It's not a pip, eh?
extremely, yeah, extremely, it's polar, but really tight on the top end.
I really like this.
Yeah, you also see that
Trainer.
the blockers are pretty relevant, huh?
Alright, so here's basically the same situation.
Except we
With
close the
queen
action
jack
on this one.
suited.
Oh,
Let's see. There are a lot of small. no, not
Fold
a lot.
your favorite hand.
There's
I do
one
like-
18 big. And the rest is
18.
bigger.
I think we have to call here because we closed the
Yeah.
action.
We'll have to fold.
I think this is the
Okay.
easiest fold I've ever made in my whole life.
Are you
All
serious?
right,
10, Jack 10 is folding.
Wow, Jack 10 suited.
So, this is
Wow.
weird. Why
Wow.
is? So was there one more caller on the other situation? Cuz this has got a way more prominent calling range than what we were looking at. a
Two
little bit
big
ago.
stacks that can bully you in the hand.
Yeah, there
Whereas,
was one
like,
more. There
the
was one.
18 big blind is shorter than you. He's not in the hand. There's a super short stack. And when he rejams, like he's gonna reopen the action. Oh,
I'm a post flop. You can't play post flop. That's the problem.
this is gonna be a tough spot almost every time.
You have to hit him. He hits
I don't,
pretty hard, or you're just toast.
this is not fun. And it's gonna be
Getting
really not
excellent.
fun post flop because he's gonna just pile it in a lot of the time instantly. And then what do you do?
Yeah. You
Fold
just
is-
fold. Get out of the
Yeah.
way.
That's true.
do you think anybody ever folds in that situation on television?
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, sure.
Live?
Okay,
Probably
Oh
not.
my god.
no,
check
just on
back,
television.
Check back.
I kinda like raising this. It's got a good blocker. It's an offsuit one. It doesn't flop that well. Kinda wanna push our equity pre-flop.
Yeah,
maybe.
there's a smaller stack on the table.
Is there no check option? It's just call here.
Call is check. Yeah, it's a beta thing. They haven't fixed this.
Yeah, it's, I
Do
would
you think
raise.
check? I like raising this hand.
No,
Yeah, maybe
if it's gonna raise sometimes, but it's gonna be like 10% raise, 90% fold.
I would have rather have
The 90% call.
You're right.
King 6 off. Yeah,
Not
ten
pulling from
percent,
the-
even less.
pulling from
It's the
the
lower
lower-
ones. Yeah. What we saw before, the lower ones.
But the concept's correct, right? So good blockers and like the worst offsuits.
You wanna
don't
raise
get
your
it.
garbage and call, check with your suited stuff, to the exception of all these ace wheels and king 5 and less. That's the difference between the chippy V and the ICM here.
Yeah, this is interesting.
Yeah,
Alright,
your blocker aces want also to raise me. That's different.
not even fun hand. Okay, this is,
You have an ace blocker.
Sometimes you have to look at the beast in the eye and say, I'm all in.
I'm folding.
All small stack, and we have a big stack behind us. I just fold.
There is a 5 big blind stack.
Oh my goodness.
There's
Oh,
a
and
5,
there's
a
a
10, and an 8 big blind. We are middle stack. Why would I risk?
Fold! Fold!
Oh no,
ICM fold.
we need to go all in.
All in, all in.
All in or fold, but not call, for sure.
I
All
think I
in, all in,
prefer
all
the
in.
fold. It's not
Yeah,
a
for sure.
very. Feels bad to go all in here, right?
Yeah, the call, like, you have to be like uber strong here to call this hand, apparently. Like, if you're gonna step into this post flop.
I merged my calling range.
Wow, amazing how we get to flop,
Done with
how
it.
we get to fold king, queen suited here.
Oh, yeah, dude, that's nuts.
That's nuts, right? Just
Uh,
fold. Oh yeah, king, queen suited, just fold.
That's stupid, huh? Actually, but still, it's blocking.
Ace, queen off too. Wow.
And all your suited aces have this sliver of all in.
I mean, I guess it's just,
It's
You block
roughly
the queen. That's the reason you fold. With the jack, you go all in.
king, queen suited folds. Wow, amazing.
You want to make king queen to fold indeed. That's the reason you can't do
oh
it.
man, we got the bluffiest hand in poker.
Oh yeah, I think we need to shove right into chip leader. See how that works. No, man, just fold.
Yeah, the second smallest stack, but the stacks are big, so I would just still fold.
Yeah,
Even find.
Yeah.
Not even a
Uh,
sliver.
yeah.
We're super up top here with this.
We're never going all in as well. I thought
Yeah,
we would have a jamming strategy more than a raise small.
Yeah, like super strong hands that don't necessarily, always
Care.
flop.
Yeah,
I think I've noticed a pattern that big stack in the early position, we really like don't want to get in the mix.
Oh.
That's
So I think
yeah.
they're actually not opening that wide.
It was also big stack versus big stack already, so.
You
Fold.
don't want to play the big stack.
Snap fold, snap fold,
all in.
snap fold.
See,
Anybody
look at
wanna-
the small stacks.
Well, we need a blocker, yeah.
No, they're not small stacks. They're only in the 19 bigs.
It's 25 effective across the board. I don't know. In
ICM
game,
jam.
I'm probably doing this right here. But
In
Fold.
position, yeah.
Easy
okay.
fold. Perfect.
I'm even like a pip off here, yeah. See,
Like
those
the
blocks-
damn suited queens, okay, they are calls when you face a three bet, but they're like yielding zero every time. So
right,
it's nothing. We don't take
ICM.
break even calls, basically.
Yeah, that's
Well,
why
it
you
just goes
jam.
to show
You don't
it's
jam.
important. You need an ace or a king, like, if you're going post flop at a final table, just have an ace or king in your hand, or a
Yeah.
pair,
Yeah,
or you're folding. Nope, no ace, no king, probably.
Oh, we're gonna raise.
no,
Never
no,
mind. We're folding.
fold. I would call here. Oh my god,
Raise is the
no
sliver.
calling here. Wow.
Why now the
ace-ten.
queen and not the
I can
king?
call with ace ten. I can't even call with nines. Why not?
So this behavior is really weird to me. I don't necessarily understand it 100% why you would flick in a chip here.
I think
Not here.
it's because like tens to sevens, they have bad blockers, like really bad blockers.
I think it's got something to do with that too.
Yeah, it's blocking. So
Yeah, look at
There's
the
another-
hijack. He's
Real life,
opening every
these shots
suited
are,
sevens. So
I-
like the hijack opens suited seven, so we fold pocket seven because.
Right. You're
Exactly,
blocking this. You're
the
blocking
bottom of
this.
the range.
Yep, you're blocking this, so you're pushing their range towards this,
Yeah, which is not good.
which is not good. Or it
There's
likes
also-
these. If they're unblocked.
But pocket
one of the-
five, that's a fine hand.
When you actually play
like
it
queen,
with the deuces,
like
two
queen
sixes,
or
you
suit.
know not to continue without a set, whereas tens, you're tempted to continue.
Yeah, these are true set mining situations.
So that's a
here.
really interesting. We only get to set mine me with low pairs on many.
Am I looking at this
scenarios.
correctly? We're raising this 20% of the time.
Yeah, right here. I would almost just kind of like omit some of these like mixing frequencies here. Like, I mean, you could probably flip a coin on some of these suited aces, but I don't know. queen
Yeah,
deuce
this is
suited.
blocker oriented, and live players don't play exactly like the solver. So,
So we're gonna make this like 7.5.
I would do king four then instead of queen four.
So, I mean, if you were actually gonna raise it according, let's just say 3.5x plus 2. I mean, you would need to make
10.5?
it like times, you need to make it like 15 big blinds or something.
Nah, smaller probably, because the stacks are not that deep.
So what, it would be 8, we'll say 7.5, 8.5, 9.5, 10.5, 11.5, something like that. Yeah, you're right.
Just fold.
Vince is trying to get his squeeze sizings calibrated.
Yeah. But also like
He doesn't need more ways to punt. He's good at it already.
You can punt it.
like the solver is doing these weird like balancing stuff.
Yep.
That
It is.
There are
like
like
if we
zero
take the
EV.
balancing range out of our raising range, then what else do we take out so that we are balanced? Does that make sense? Like if we take off queen four suited as a raise, what other raise do we take out that's value?
So I think I understand what you're
I
saying.
would
but
rather add ace four more.
I don't think you need to do that because I don't think that the opening range that you're squeezing is as balanced, which is why you're seeing some of those mixed frequencies. There's fringy hands that are supposed to open that in reality people are never opening. So the fact that you're removing those hands from their range will scoot these mixed frequencies out of our range, if that makes sense.
So where's the next cutoff when we? Because we're able to raise more value because we're raising queen 4. So what value hand are we removing from the raising range and putting into the calling range?
I don't think that's necessarily the thing. I think you might just see fuller frequencies at the top end, which is gonna move like fuller frequencies to like some of the other hands that aren't here. Like, so instead, let's say that this was 42%. Since we don't have all of these other ones here, it's now it would be like 68% or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I would assume that also because the range.
But we don't adjust the other part of the range. We just remove the garbage, basically.
No, we are
You're
adjusting.
Well, yeah, I mean, you're adjusting in the sense that you're not necessarily implementing a perfect split strategy on some of these other hands. You're simplifying it because the other person who's raising and calling isn't implementing a perfect mixed strategy either. So it simplifies in that manner, I would think.
Yeah,
This
also
queen 10 feels like a call.
the queen blocker is less relevant because he's mixing. The other ones are mixing more. I'm not playing perfect.
Right. This is just a
Ace blocker
heads up
stays
pot.
relevant.
We're gonna call this still just because it's a heads up pot and this is too good of a hand.
No all-ins? All-in gang?
Wow.
15 bigs.
That's right. All-in gang. Gotta represent.
15 bigs, yeah.
Dude, this is kind of crazy. But
Oh, Vince.
That's crazy.
Back, but this is like, yeah, I'm just not finding this.
I'm saying that I'm
as-
finding them, but I don't think it's crazy.
Yeah.
Calling with queen 4 suited. That's crazy.
Yeah, apparently.
Those I don't for sure don't find. But I see what you're saying. I'm also having difficulty finding those bluffs.
Well, I think this plays it. Yeah.
Yeah, 15 bigs. Can we fold?
So
Yeah, because we can move, because we could get lucky and move, we may move up a rank by folding.
Man, this is a goofy range. Like, it wants to fold like half of the ace kings. And then it's like queens is just not folding.
I guess because we are too short versus like they are all big stacks, so that's why we rumble with tens and jacks sometimes. But it's not even full frequency.
And
Yeah,
eights
this
is
thing-
not blocking
This
their
is so
folding.
great. We may get a pay jump for one big blind.
I'm gonna say jacks, tens, and eights here just feel real punty.
Yeah, you should always fold. I think.
Jacks I can understand still.
Yeah, this is nuts. Sevens. We
Raise,
open, get
yeah.
3-bet. I
Fold.
would not be surprised to see it do some of this.
Did anybody notice in the last hand how often they were folding jacks?
I think deuces and
Yeah,
threes
quite
also
often.
go
Jacks
all in.
and tens are very marginal on the spot. 3-bet, all in, FT.
I don't think I'm folding jacks there.
Folding.
I keep telling you to fold jacks. You won't listen.
They call.
This is a bit wider than I had anticipated.
I'll do it when I see you do it.
You can put a lot of pressure post flop.
Do
that's
it all the
fine.
time. Snap fold.
8-3. We probably are supposed to defend this. It's a suited hand. I think, maybe.
Against the
Nope.
bigger stack? Hmm.
It's defending a lot, just not this.
Yeah,
An
it's,
eight.
yeah. It was a
Alright,
small stack on the 10, that's probably different, yeah. I would fold, but
Yeah, this
two
was
small
nice.
stacks and bigger stacks behind us.
Uh-oh. Yeah, we just fold this, right?
Snap, snap
fold.
fold.
Yeah, bigger stacks than the pot. so-
Wow, I didn't think queens would fold. I'm not folding queens, sir.
Everyone's
There
so
are bigger
deep.
stacks at the tail. That's the problem. They're
Yeah.
all bigger than us.
Wow.
That's
They never
just-
find it out.
This is kind of nuts. Yeah, I don't know if I'm probably not finding queens here either.
Me neither.
Yeah, but are you finding ace three suited, ace four? Like what the hell is this?
I mean, you're supposed to be looking at a three-way all in, so I guess like they said, jumps. I don't know.
Vince, look, see? It's mixing frequencies all along here. You see these fractional frequencies all along here. When it runs the calculation, the hands that are performing well against a lot of this junk are these, targeting all of this. So
Look
that's
at
why-
ace four, it's losing when it does it.
Right,
It's
you're
not
losing
a
your
winning play. Just balancing
So I mean, like in
against
reality,
bluff that people don't have.
Joe Schmo at the final table.
There's no
he
way
tried to-
button, like, look at 10-9 suited.
You want to
Right.
block calling hands, aces, ace king, kings.
Joe Schmo's not finding all of this. He
King
might be
five,
finding like, he might be finding this.
yeah.
and He might like in a once in a blue moon, do something like this if he's studied a little bit.
Maybe,
But, I mean-
a big maybe already.
So
Yeah, that's-
Never finds
ace
everything
five,
here.
but only ace three and ace deuce. Because
Yeah,
he's not
Joe
folding ace three and ace
Schmo
deuce.
also might be just folding this.
Yeah. So what do we do
So-
with ace king then? Maybe we mix with ace king off.
I'm really surprised that these like steel wheel draws are just four betting, just cold four bet.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they are against a super balanced opponent, so maybe you can calm your horses.
I think they're just really prominent in these final table situations because of how opening and three betting ranges are constructed. It's basically just all of the aces.
I believe it has to do with the calling range. When we have an ace, we block a lot of the calling range.
Well, yeah, so I think that's why you probably do a lot of picking of those.
I think they keep an ICM in the forefront.
I'm sorry, Fred?
I mean, what are we doing here? Like,
All in.
All in
Okay.
flop trips.
This is a good blocker. It's a good bluff. Incorrect. Oh no. You're not going all in very much with your ace blocker. You need the suited version.
it likes the
Even.
suited one. You either need like the offsuit bluff hand of bluff hands or a suited ace. Wait.
I'm ripping too much offsuit aces here. And too much suited aces as well. Think I'm
Crazy,
going
right?
all in with ace ten suited here. What do you do with ace ten suited? You see a flop?
Yeah, I mean, it's like a completely
Flying
linear
ace ten.
response.
Yeah, but probably ace ten suited is close.
It probably is.
Ace
Yeah, so
seven
if you
suited
look-
is just worse.
I don't think I'm ever folding this though. Ace seven off.
Yeah, I would.
I'm probably not either. I'm probably flatting versus a steal. I'm probably jamming versus steal a pretty good bit. Probably too wide, too much.
Yeah, there are a lot of small stacks on table, so. There's a lot
If
of
it was
five stacks as well.
suited,
This looks like an
If it-
obvious fold to me, but
It
with
is
you.
an obvious
I
fold,
don't
isn't
know
it?
what's real anymore. We live in a
Yeah.
simulation.
exactly.
It's
so
offsuit,
if
just
this,
fold.
my guess, if this was suited, we might lose our minds here some. We might see some like mixing frequencies where it's raising some, but like you said, this is just probably not gonna be.
My
right.
guess, suited king.
So kind of, sorta, but not really. We need
We're
to
not
be
even
higher
doing
than
anything with the suited king three here.
Yeah, but
You take your
raise
suited
suited
kings and
kings.
you just go crazy.
Yeah, here, it is pulling from suited kings quite a bit though. And, okay, I mean, this is an outlier essentially, but
I think
super
that
tight, like-
Yeah,
How
who's
many
folding
are-
jack jack here?
yeah, who's finding the jack just open fold 30% of the time, 40% of the
Oh,
time?
never.
Not even jack jack, like 10-10 is a full frequency fold here.
Tens against three players.
Wow, huh? And
On
even
the
the backs are mixing.
Well, like you said before, and I know that, you know, not, you said not to read it.
Yeah. Is that my audio or?
No,
No,
sorry, my dog muted my mic. That king six off, is that for blocker purposes or is that a mixing
Yep.
strategy?
no, it's just because we have a king blocker.
I think
Yeah.
it's just bad solve.
But yeah,
I
you
just-
shouldn't
I-
use it too much.
King
I
six
guess I
suited
really
for
don't
sure is
understand
better than
blocker
king six
strategy at
off.
all here.
We block
King
ace
six
king,
suited is
we
better
block
than
pocket
king six
king.
off. So what do you want with king
Ju-
six off?
Just because
So-
we have a king in our hand, we block some of the strongest part of
But
the.
Louis, king six suited is better than king six off. So why do we do this with king six off?
It's just
I don't know.
picking one of the king six, like it's not using the suited one, it's gonna use the offsuit one. It's the, you know, it's
but
not a
for
big
me-
deal. The idea, the general idea, you don't wanna stick too much to this particular combo. You wanna know that you need to have some king blockers in your range here, preferably the suited ones. That's it.
Right,
Yeah,
but
If you have one or two or three, that's really good.
we're wondering like why exactly it chooses that specific one. That's the one I'm getting at here. It's like,
Oh, it's
Hey,
not a
look
big
at
deal. It's just picking the king combo.
If you want an answer, that I think I can make sense of. King six is like below what some of the opening range is here, so we're gonna get king eights to fold, we're gonna get king nines to fold, king tens, he opens a lot of tens.
But it's doing it with king five suited and king four suited, so it's the same motion. It's just instead of picking the suited one every time, it has an offsuit one sometimes.
Right, and then the other thing we'd have to look at to really get an understanding of why this is the combo, we need to look at the middle position flatting range versus EP. We need to look at the multi-way range for low jack. I would guess a lot of it is centralized around 7, 8x, 9x that are suited. It's gonna be a lot of this stuff. So it's just picking a card that's unblocking a lot of this and a relative blocker. So a king's a good blocker, you're blocking a lot of the opening range. And a six is good because it can target and profitably make a lot of this stuff fold. I mean,
I think it just doesn't have enough king six suited to do it. So
Right,
it
I mean-
uses king six off.
there could be a bunch of things. I mean, we're all just speculating. I have no earthly idea. I have no, no idea to be frank.
I appreciate it.
But I would just go for 100% king six suited in this case.
I think this is
Oh,
a
this is-
fold because
this is a-
pocket eights is a mixing open.
This is
Yeah,
an
this
easy fold.
this is pain here. This is where the discipline comes in. You got a couple 12ers here.
I think
So
this
what
is
do
an
you
easy
think?
fold.
Well, what's the call then?
One,
Like jacks.
Tens.
tens.
Mixing tens, calling jacks.
Jacks.
I think tens are full frequency. I think nines mix. Boo!
Boom.
Boom.
Rip it.
Yeah.
I don't think it's good. I would rip it.
Shove. Shove.
So we saw before that, ace queens were balancing with queens and aces to the not all in three bet sizing. I don't know if we,
Yeah. That's
wanna read too much into
I
that.
like raising to like 5 here.
5.5.
It looks scary, right? Like he's gonna have to fold a lot here because there's an 8, a 12, a 16.
If one of the other guys rips, you can call one ripper and fold if the other one also rips. Oh, that's reasonable.
Wow, this is,
Call.
this is, not what I expected.
Yeah, you're correct. It's 1.5.
Yeah, what? See,
Okay,
It's
so
close.
it's strong enough to call.
Yeah,
but
it's
then why
fine.
are we like just going bananas with ace king here?
I think because we're gonna flat because we're folding when the button rips it.
Yeah.
And if big blind rips it as well. We're folding.
think
Against
we
the big
call
blind
big
alone,
blind.
I don't think so, but if two rips down.
Wow, they're so short. We might need to fold against big blind indeed.
Man, this is a, I'm not finding this one.
And low jack, we maybe have to fold and pair.
I'm making so I mean, if you look at this situation here, right, like. Jamming's good, not all in three betting's good, calling's good. The EVs run super close.
True. I think I would like three betting the most. But
This is one of those spots that I'm very tempted to flat in game. That's probably just a fold in theory.
well, you're the
we're
big stack.
leader.
Oh, you can. I think.
Maybe
We are a
can,
big stack.
maybe we can burn some chips with this kind of hand.
But maybe you have to be suited
Yeah,
connected.
Yeah, we're going there.
Even a bit further. 9-6.
7-4 I don't find, but I find a couple of these.
Yeah.
I wasn't paying close enough attention to the chip stack. I think the fact that we're so
You're the
deep,
big
we
stack indeed.
probably, we get to expand this quite a bit.
5-4 off, I don't find.
No.
Three deuce suited, no thanks.
No thanks for me also.
And that's all the hands they wanna play, like low. Low
Yeah,
suited
because the other ones
connectors
don't
because
have those, so-
it blocks nothing.
If you have flop two pair,
And it's very easy to play post flop. We are gonna either flop the world or fold. And here I think we need to look at the guy in the eye and say. I think we are gonna hit the flush here. I don't think we can let you get away with this. It's been a fun table, a fun tournament. I've been playing for 9 hours, but now
so
it's
many.
to go all in with ace suited, right into kings, and then we're gonna hit the ace on the
It's
river.
not 100% race, that's for sure.
Yeah. You just look at your hand and you say, that's not a 4, that's the ace of hearts.
It's
I
really
see ace.
close, right?
Rockets.
I have two ace of hearts here.
Exactly.
50-50 folding.
That way, if you lose the hand, you just call the floor.
Yeah.
Oof, okay, so we can get away from it sometimes,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
I'm not.
I'm always getting away from it.
I'm never getting away from it. I'm cracking queens.
All right, so our results, they're not being stored. We got
So
3 stars,
Ooh,
74% overall.
ooh.
Not bad. It's also counting the slivers, huh?
Right, so like Vince pointed out yesterday when we were playing with this, like, I don't think you can actually get 100% on this because all of the responses are split. So I don't know what like a perfect score is. It's probably just how.
No, I think if you hit the sliver, it counts as a correct score.
Perhaps.
Yeah, I assume so. Otherwise, we wouldn't have 74%.
All right, man. It's been very, very fun, man. I enjoyed
Yeah, this
it
was
a
good.
lot.
Now I don't gotta buy it.
Yeah, but it's so
Yeah.
expensive.
Don't worry, guys. I'm buying another year, so.
Oh,
every,
yeah.
Monday, Wednesday, Friday, we can do some more.
Sweet,
Maybe not Wednesday, but Monday and Fridays are good.
sweet, man.
It would be nice indeed to do.
Are we
Okay,
still staying
now I-
on, or is this the end of the session?
It's up to you guys.
For me, it's the end.
Man, but still, this is against the perfect ICM aware players. In
You
the
are
low
correct.
stakes, if you're gonna implement this, you're gonna just lose your short. On
I
the
don't
high
think so.
stakes,
No. You're not losing your shorts. They
I
can't.
think like we have so many suited kings that are jamming that, man, it's like,
For lower stakes, the takeaways here, I would say are, maybe like the RFI ranges, the calling ranges, and some of the 3-bet ranges. I would, just
cut down
always
a little bit.
Yeah,
I
would
think
always just
especially
do
the
that.
call jam races, you should.
Yeah, the calling ranges versus jams and things like that, you should probably implement. But, as far as like 4-betting and doing stuff like that, some of these higher order, parts of the game tree, I would definitely not.
yeah.
4 betting, not 3 betting. I think you can still implement that if you want.
Yeah, you can. I don't think you should be 5-bet jamming ace four suited in a, you know, $3.
Multi-way.
Once it gets a 4 or 5, then oh, be tight.
Alright,
So,
it's been a good
yeah.
session.